because this is always a little tricky here. If you say, I want to stop this pattern, and I know this because I've done it. So I've been through this process while still breaking toxic generational cycles. So here is a little split. How can we balance this? What would you say?
That's a great question. And also, I think it's important to mention all of this type of work is not to place judgment or blame on your parents or your grandparents or whoever came before you. I think that's really because that's perpetuating kind of like a victim resentment mentality. This is just awareness. This is an understanding and a wanting to do better. So I think that's important to say. So in regards to like traditions where you're like, well, if I'm breaking this, then am I breaking off my family and how do I move forward? So what I would say is you take the things that mean a lot to you, right? So although I'm from Hawaii, my family is Italian. And so of our coming together as a family is through meals and cooking and the whole process of cooking and sitting down, and it's very loud and, that typical kind of. And so that's what it was for me when I was growing up. However, the talk was very negative. It was very kind of like, I don't want to say demeaning, so to speak, but not nice. People weren't nice to each other. People weren't family members. We weren't uplifting each other. There was like a lot of quote unquote kind of shit talking, and it felt icky. However, we were still doing these beautiful meals and celebrations and creating these holiday traditions, right? So now in my home, we do all of those things with much more intention, with kindness, with while we're preparing food, we're playing a game or something like that. So it's like, I'm still carrying on. Like if you ask my children, it's like, what's their favorite thing? It's to make homemade pasta and spend the entire day making the sauce and doing all of those things together as a family. But it has a different energetic feeling behind it. So that's kind of like a very tangible example where that is a tradition